Good morning, everyone. This is Nathan Hylla, the Advanced Engineering Technician with the Stearns County Soil and Water Conservation District. It's Saturday, March 5th, 2016. I'm doing this report on Thursday following a Albany Huskies victory over Melrose. And for those of you who went to the game last night, it would be on Wednesday night, the 2nd at St. John's University. You know, you were turned away if you were 20 minutes short of game time. What a great basketball game. And both teams played well. Both Melrose and Albany played well. But what a fun time of the year. You know, it just brings back some traditions here. I remember playing, in Swanville where the one rim was 3 inches shorter than the other, or going to Uppsala and having the big chicken barn fans at the top, or playing in Albany at the old rubber court. That's just, who we are, and it's a fun time of year. Unfortunately, somebody has to come out a loser, but what a great game. We attended the game last night. So congratulations to the Albany Huskies, and what a great season for the Melrose Dutchmen. So hopefully we'll be celebrating here an Albany victory on Friday night against Bram here on Saturday morning. So I guess time will tell, so hopefully we'll be victorious. Speaking of traditions, farming is also a great tradition here in Stearns County, and we need to talk a little bit about what we have going on here at the office. And I guess the first thing I want to talk about is springtime manure application. We don't have a lot of snow this year, so that we don't have a whole lot of the issues there, but you never know. We could get dumped on with 18 inches of snow, and when we get that snow melt and goes down into the gullies and into the creeks, make sure you meet your setbacks, from waterways and ditches and property lines and things like that. Just something to be aware of where you're spreading your manure at certain times of the year. The other thing to consider, too, this time of the year is, as you don't quite have the long-term storage that you need for your manure, we do offer some assistance on manure pits. We do have a lot of people on the list, and just letting farmers out there know it's going to take a little bit to get a good plan in place. That's one of the things I do here at the office is I help with some of that planning, getting you on the road to getting a manure pit or long-term storage for your manure. That's something that I do. But you want to think about 2 to 3 years down the road. I know, you're not necessarily coming to the office saying, I want to do a manure pit this summer. That's not really a good option. We just don't have the time here a lot of people on the list to do that. So think long-term. If a son or daughter is getting involved in the operation, think about coming in to sign up now, planning 2 to 3 years down the road. And things can change, too. I understand that. So think about those things this summer as your manure pit is full. The other thing I wanted to talk about here is that here at the Stearns County SWCD, we do a lot of educational activities. I just wanted to inform the general public. It's not something usually that I talk about on the radio, but I was a teacher, believe it or not, and a coach, which is why I enjoy basketball and athletics so much. But we do have educational opportunities here at the Stearns County Soil and Water Conservation District. We do a lot of things with a lot of the elementary schools in the area. We've got Frozen Fest going on here for the schools in Sartell and St. Cloud on February 18th for 4th grade classes. It's during those times we educate the youth about conservation and about the clean water and good management practices that many of you are doing, and ways that we can be conscious of the environment and things we can do to help and save a little bit of water, and in the meantime have a good time doing it, enjoying our lakes and rivers and streams. I'll be attending the Middle Sauk Water Festival as where my kids go to school, Avon Elementary. They'll be attending on May 19th, also for 4th graders there too. So I enjoy that. I know a lot of the kids and get to see a lot of the chaperones and parents enjoy that part where we can get our message across too. So education is important here as well at the Stearns County Soil and Water Conservation District. The next thing I want to talk about is that we talk about Governor Dayton's buffer initiative. There are some unanswered questions, and we're still waiting for a lot of information from Minnesota Department of Natural Resources on mapping and where ditches will have to be buffered and water courses, things like that. I live on Middle Spunk Lake, and we have to have perennial vegetation, but I'm not going to go till up my backyard anyway. It'll be in lawn grass, and I do have quite a bit of a buffer on the edge of the lake there. I've got some cattails and things. But that's perennial waters. Those are the perennial waters that we're talking about. Now, until that map comes out, there's a lot of unanswered questions. But if you want to get a jump on things, the Sauk River Watershed District has a hate buffer program. And that program is, if you do need a buffer, think of in terms, we're not sure how long this is going to be around, but the program offers landowners a $150 annual payment per acre to leave your, to put a buffer in place of permanent vegetation. Now, the hay buffer program means you can hay it, and that means you can hay it twice a year. It must have a minimum width of 50 feet, and there is the program offers 75% cost share to establish it. So it's a 10-year contract. Sounds like a pretty good deal. So those that know for sure that you're going to have to do this, at least you can get some value out of that buffer where you can hay it twice a year from June 15th through September 1st. So if you want to call Sauk River Watershed District, they are a partner of ours located in Sauk Center, 320-352-2231. That's 320-352-2231. Something to think about, too, is that this time of the year when you're doing your buffers, maybe you're focused on wildlife and you don't want to hay it. We do have trees available here at the Stearns County SWCD, and those tree sales will go on. Usually trees are picked up at the Albany MnDOT station near the end of April, so that time is now to think about trees, and as the weather warms up, we might have an early spring here, too. So hopefully that's the case. It could use a little bit of moisture. Speaking of early spring, as I've been out ice fishing, you didn't know during the conservation report that you'd get some fishing tips, but I love to fish, and fish are doing things now that they would normally do in late March during the ice season. So with a lack of snow cover on the ice, there's some things happening where fish are moving a little bit shallower, and just maybe that's an indication that spring's going to come early this year. Speaking of buffers, fishing, hunting, we have the Stearns County Pheasants Forever, the 33rd annual spring banquet. Takes place tonight, actually, as this report will air on Saturday, March 5th. On March 5th, 2016, at the Freeport Community Center. Crowing hour starts at 5:30 p.m. Dinner starts at 7:30. It's a great cause. This organization does a lot of good work. They help purchase land. They distribute some food plot seed to interested individuals. So you can call Chris Den if you're interested in tickets at 320-761-8695. And I know they do sell tickets at the door, but there is a certain amount of people that they'll let in. So make sure you get there early. It's always a good time. I'll be attending with my wife again this year, so should be fun. Again, the Freeport Community Center, the 33rd annual Pheasants Forever Stearns County Chapter Spring Banquet. So that'll happen tonight. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Road restrictions went on last week, so we're hopefully looking at an early spring. They're usually on for an average of about 6 weeks. So again, we may be looking at an early spring, early construction season for many of our conservation projects. Speaking of conservation projects, this is way early in the discussion, but on June 15th, Stearns County SWCD is having a conservation tour. They'll be working with landowners that I actually worked with, doing some erosion control practices, discussing some tillage practices, doing a little tour in the northeast part of the county. Up there where I grew up, near Old Pole, St. Wendell, that's my neck of the woods. There's a bunch of farmers up there that have done a few good things, and they'd like to showcase those as well as be examples of practices that can be installed. So there's a few things I might be involved in that one as well. So again, the conservation tour, very early here. It's June 15th of 2016. There'll be more to come as we move forward. There is one last thing I want to talk about. It's a conservation stewardship program. I forgot to mention that here in between things. The deadline for that is March 31st. It's an NRCS, or Natural Resources Conservation Service Program. The application deadline is March 31st. For those of you that have been involved in this program before, there's also a renewal that needs to take place prior to that date. So I'm not sure if there's an application that you need to sign. The best thing to do, you can call our office here at 320-251-7800. Extension 3, and ask questions. Otherwise, you can stop in, sign the application or the renewal application for that. You must be the operator of the land, and you must have land control for 5 years. So those are some of the requirements. Stop into the office and get a list of things that you can do to help out conservation and get involved in the conservation stewardship program here. So With that, again, hopefully we're celebrating an Albany Huskies victory against the Brand Bombers here on Saturday morning. And again, if you have nothing going on, attend the Stearns County Pheasants Forever Banquet tonight at Freeport Community Center. Again, this is Nathan Hylla with the Stearns County Soil and Water Conservation District. Have a great weekend and enjoy the beautiful weather. Thanks.